Now, comfort is one of the most important things on a bike, and some would even argue that is the most important thing when it comes to enjoying your bike, because if you're not comfortable on your bike, you're not going to be having fun. Passchier took this idea to the next level with their bamboo handlebars, and they sought to create the ultimate comfortable bike handlebar to let you ride as far and as comfortably as your heart desires. And while yes, these may very well be the most comfortable bike handlebars that you can buy, there are some things that you should keep in mind because they may not be for everybody. Speaking of things that may not be for everybody, but you may very well fall in love with, this video is sponsored by Wabi Cycles. I tested out these handlebars on my one and only bike, my Wabi Special. And if you're looking to cop yourself a Wabi Special, you're in luck because finally we have some good news that Wabi Specials will be back in stock this month or early April. You can go to Wabi's website right now and hit the pre-order if you just want a standard Wabi Special, but if you want something a little more special in your Wabi Special, Wabi and I have been working together on this upcoming special, which are slated to be out in early April. Wabi Classics, their most popular model, are also expected to be in stock by the end of this month, or if you're looking for their top tier Columbus Spirit, which is some of the lightest steel tubing that money can buy, they're in stock right now, and you can just hop on over to the website and get one if you want. Check out Wabi Cycles linked in the description. Passchier's handlebars are really something else. They are indeed made out of bamboo, handcrafted in New Zealand, which explains the price. But that price translates into a lot of quality that you can immediately feel when you pull these bars out of the box. When I first did, I was just completely enamored with the quality that these things just oozed. They feel more like a piece of finely crafted furniture than any bike part that I've ever seen. Like, you could see each individual layer of bamboo and the lamination is impeccable. The only minor nitpick, and I have to nitpick here because these cost $225 US, is that the logo for the clamp area is just a sticker. It feels kind of cheap in an otherwise exquisitely crafted piece of furniture, essentially. But everything down from how these bars look, to the satisfying weight in the hand, to the perfectly matched branded end caps, everything about it just screams quality. These bars are the Gump 650s, named after Forrest Gump, because you can just keep riding on them forever, or so they say. I found this to be the Goldilocks of the bars that they offer. 650 millimeters wide, which are wide enough to give you a lot of control without being so wide that you're catching all the wind, with a 22 degrees of back sweep to get a pretty natural wrist angle. And yeah, they're bamboo, and the question that I often get with these bars is, are they safe? Because you can definitely see them flex when you put your weight into it, and you can definitely feel them flex when you're just riding the bike. And Passchier did a lot of stringent testing to make sure that these bars are safe to ride. As long as you're not doing some intense downhill mountain biking where you need to wear a full face helmet, elbow pads, and knee pads, you know, everything short of a bulletproof vest, these bars are going to be safe. They're certified to ISO standards. I couldn't tell you which, but you could check out the link in the description if you're interested in that stuff. It definitely flexes more than any other handlebar that you've probably used, and that is the point. And I have to admit that it is a little bit spooky seeing these handlebars flex so much when you push down on them, and it does take some time to get used to. But rest assured that they are 100% safe to ride. I would 100% rather ride bamboo handlebars than carbon handlebars, because bamboo fails predictably. It will show signs of wear before it completely snaps off on you, and even after it snaps on you, in the extremely unlikely event that this happens, because these things are built to last years and years, you can still ride them even if they are snaps. And if you get hit by a car or something, God forbid. From the way these bars are made, to the way they look, to the way they ride, they are really unlike anything else. And that may be a good or a bad thing depending on who you are. The idea is that the flex will absorb a lot of the buzz when you're out riding on the road or on the trails, making the handlebar more comfortable than alloy bars. And Passchier's even done a bunch of testing to verify these claims. And in my experience, they are a little bit more comfortable than alloy handlebars. The thing is, in their testing, as far as I've seen, they are comparing the Passchier bars, bamboo bars, to 31.8 millimeter alloy bars, which are incredibly stiff because the 31.8 millimeter standard was originally made for carbon fiber. If you've ever ridden 31.8 millimeter alloy bars, you know how stiff and unforgiving they can be, especially when it comes to long days in the saddle. But from my perspective, I normally ride 26.0 or 25.4 millimeter aluminum handlebars. And from my experience, the difference isn't as big as they claim, or as big as a lot of people coming from 31.8 millimeter alloy bars would experience. I specifically like 26.0 bars because they give an amount of flex that I really enjoy. They're not too stiff, but also they're not too noodly, so I feel like they're comfortable without sacrificing my ability to climb hills or sprint quickly from stops on my fixed gear. If I were to put a subjective number on how much more comfortable these are than aluminum handlebars, 26.0 mind you, I would say they're about 20 to 30% more comfortable. And for some people that could be an enormous difference, especially if you're doing ultra distances like bike packing or bike touring. But the bamboo bars are definitely an acquired taste. Not everybody is going to like them. If you're out on a trail, like over there, across the way, if you run over some big chunky rocks, you're still going to feel that jolt through the handlebars. Admittedly, not as much as on an aluminum handlebar, but you're still gonna feel it. The best way that I can describe these handlebars ride is that they quiet the ride a little bit. They just take a little bit of sting off of the vibration that your bike is putting through, so it doesn't get to your hands. It makes the ride just like a touch more comfortable. Because they're an acquired taste, it does take a lot of getting used to. I find that they're not the ideal handlebar if you like to ride hard. Definitely great if you like to spin or to cruise. So if you ride a spinny ratio all the time and you don't really manhandle your bike or sprint off and climb like in a super big gear ratio like us fixed gear riders do, these are an excellent choice and you should definitely check them out. But my problem, particularly because I ride fixed gear, is that the bars are a little too flexible, as comfortable as they may be. Fixed gear riding is all about keeping rhythm with your bike, maintaining your cadence and pushing down on your pedal and synchronizing your pedal stroke with the way that your bike flexes. That is one of the most satisfying things about riding a fixed gear. But with the Passchier bamboo bars, I feel like on my bike, the way that I like to ride, which is pretty hard, they tend to throw off my rhythm with my bike, and it feels like I'm not riding as fast as I should when I'm trying to push on these bars. But when I am just cruising along, these bars are a dream to ride. They are really great. It's just that when I start pushing down the power, I do wish that I had something stiffer. Oh, come on. I realize this out here in Michigan in winter in the cold, because it gets, as you can probably see, pretty dang cold here. And I also tested these bars out in California, where it's obviously much warmer. And I found that I like the way that these bars ride better here in Michigan in the cold, where they stiffen up considerably. And you need to be the judge of whether a perceived 20% less road vibration in your hands is worth the hefty price tag that this thing commands. These are definitely like the ultimate handlebar if you want to be comfortable on your bike. Comfort at all costs is what they do. Because at the end of the day, there's more effective ways to make your bike ride more smoothly and more comfortably than getting handlebars that are a different material. The closer that the part is to the source of the vibration, the bigger impact it's going to have when you swap it out. Tires are going to have the biggest impact on how supple your bike is. Then, whether your frame and fork has suspension, how your frame and fork are designed, what material they're made out of, whether your stem has suspension, and then comes the handlebars. If you haven't addressed these things and you're trying to get the most comfortable bike possible, let alone bike fit, handlebar material should be further down your list. And then after handlebars, then your grips and bar tape also have a marginal impact on how much road buzz gets into your hands. If you absolutely need the most comfort, definitely check out the Passchier bars. But if you're a fixed gear rider like me, and I have to address you guys because I am a fixed gear rider, definitely think about it more. Think about how hard you ride and what gear ratio you're pushing. I'm on 49/17, and whenever I go uphill on these handlebars, I wish that I had something a little bit more stiff. But if you're one of those super spinny, like 42/19 tracklocross guys, yeah, these might fit your bike wonderfully. Or if you're a bike tourer, a bike packer, ultra distance cyclist, or a chill commuter, these will definitely fit those builds if you like to ride spinny ratios. They're definitely better suited for geared bikes than for fixed gear bikes. But if you're someone that just wants, hands down, the most beautiful handlebars that I have ever laid my eyes on, there's nothing else like them. They really are just incredible to look at and just feel the quality ooze out of them. There's a lot of fixie points that you get from these handlebars, and they are a conversation piece. And they do complement the way that the bike looks impeccably in my eyes. Yes, these are the quietest, most vibration absorbing handlebars that I've ever tried. And they could very well take the cake for being the most comfortable bike handlebars. But just ask yourself whether they're for you. They're definitely an acquired taste. Fixie famous shoutouts to Brent David, Zane Kolnik, Brandon Black, Julian Corona, Perez, Gio Dezera, Palangi, and David K for helping to make these fixed gear videos possible through their support on Patreon. And remember that life is short, but don't make it shorter, so be sure to ride your bike every day to be reasonable and be dangerous, even if it is in the middle of a snowstorm.